So we're going to have a look at this guy. Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Hooper says he will not accept selfish vandalism by anti-migrant protesters. This comes after demonstrators clashed with police outside an Essex hotel, believed to be housing asylum seekers. Right, let's listen to what this
partners, working with our partners and making sure
country last summer. Saw that the violent disorder across the country last summer. A year on, are you worried that we're looking at something similar this summer?
Well, look, the first bit is I'm focused on our communities here, and we want to make sure that kind of everyone is safe. We will not accept that kind of...
I will warn you, he does say communities an awful lot in this interview. He's trying to come across as Mr. Woke in this a hell of a lot. Oh, we're trying to work with our communities. And whenever they say communities, we know which communities they mean, don't we? They don't mean the British native community. They mean every other community but the native British when they say community.
Selfish vandalism that we saw last night. I want to be working with our communities. You know, if you are coming to Essex and Epping to take part in that sort of criminality, that is absolutely not acceptable. But working with the rest of our community to make sure your voice is being heard. And I do not want to see a repeat of last night.
So he thinks that Antifa is part of the community. But here's an idea, right? If you don't want a repeat of last night's violence in Epping, then maybe instruct your officers not to march up a gang of masked up thugs that are going to shout abuse at already volatile and angry parents because they've been blatantly ignored by the community, and they're angry. You marched up, your officers marched up a group of masked up Antifa to shout abuse at them when they're protesting outside a migrant hotel about the sexual assault of a 14-year-old girl and the concerns that these parents have about the safety of their children. In your wisdom, because I'm guessing it's you where these orders came from, because it always comes from the top people like you, Mr. Community, that, march them up there, lads, escort them up, and then when they finished hurling abuse at the parents and, degrading them for just caring about the safety of their children, give them a nice little bus ride down to the train station so they can go home and pat themselves on the back and give themselves a nice little virtue signal for heading up there to shout abuse at people protesting the sexual abuse of children. This guy's a grade A1 muppet, absolute bellend. And this is the problem. This is the problem with our police force, is people like this idiot, who most likely only rose through the ranks because he preached the message. And we all know what the message is. The message is woke bullshit, identity politics. That's the reason dickheads like this rise through the ranks.
Or in fact, anything that we saw last year.
A very, very polarised group. You mentioned community a lot. How do you ensure voices on one side are heard and voices on the other side are heard equally?
Look, our role as policing is to be there without fear or favour, and we're...
Bollocks. I didn't see any without fear or favour last night. I don't see officers turning up with batons, pepper spray, riot gear and shields for pro-Palestine marchers. I don't see them pulling people out of the road for Just Stop Oil when they block traffic. But it's just hypocritical of these people. They don't police without fear or favour. They're blatantly biased and political. That's obvious. Everybody saw it last night, the way they policed these people. The police officers came kitted out for a fight, for a rumble, and they got one. There's an old saying that if you go looking for a fight, you will eventually find one. And that's what these police officers did. They inflamed the situation. The idea, and I said this in my video this morning, the idea of the police force is police officers is to diffuse and keep the peace. Diffuse a situation and keep the peace. Do you really think marching 50 or so masked up Antifa activists to parents who are angry, a very, very volatile and dangerous situation, you would have thought this idiot, this moron, would have said, right, we need to keep these two groups separate. Keep them at the train station. Now I know for certain, because I heard this from people who made it past, that when I went to the protest in Nottingham, the police were actively stopping people who were going to Nick Tenconi to go into Nick Tenconi to listen to him speak. They were stopped at the train station and stopped from going to that event. I know that for certain. I heard that firsthand from people that had actually been stopped, but they ignored the police and somehow got past them. So it is two-tier policing with these people. But see, the way I judged this, right, was with Nick Tenconi when he went to the Marxist rally thing, right? Fair enough, yeah, the police protected them. They did. But they weren't liking it. They did it simply because they knew they had to. They didn't take the kid gloves off for them and, give them a little cup of tea and, a pat on the head. It just makes me sick. It's blatantly obvious what these people are. They're very politicized, and they speak out the side of their mouth. They really do on these issues. They make it out, we're for all communities. No, you're not. No, you're not at all. You're for one certain certain demographic of society, which would be the left wing and the Islamists.